Ever tried juggling groceries, your phone, and keys at once? Imagine if humans had 4 arms instead of 2, not just as a party trick, but as our default anatomy from the start. Our world is built for two-handed people. Add 2 more and everything changes. Clothes, culture, jobs, homes, nothing would be the same. Even a handshake would become a social puzzle. Do you shake all 4 hands? Double up? Etiquette would be chaos. So let's dive into this wild what if and see how 4 arms would flip our lives upside down. From sports to music to multitasking, we'll explore the hilarious and mind-bending consequences. Buckle up, let's re-engineer humanity. First problem, clothes. 4 arms? Good luck finding a shirt that fits. The fashion industry would be unrecognizable. Shirts might look like a sideways E to fit the extra limbs. Where do the extra arms go? Let's say they're just below the first pair. Practical, but a tailor's nightmare. Jackets and coats would be chaos. Ponchos or toga-inspired outfits might become the norm. Fit would be a challenge. Garments would need to allow for a huge range of motion. Vests could be the new staple. Core warmth, no sleeve restrictions. Performance wear would be everyday wear. Getting dressed would be a strategic operation, not just a routine. Chefs might have heat-resistant sleeves for their lower arms, while the upper pair stays free. Designers would invent new weaving techniques and materials for durability. Our sense of style and self-expression would be completely reinvented. Welcome to the era of quad-limb couture. Sports would never be the same. In basketball, imagine dribbling 2 balls at once, shooting with 1 pair of arms while blocking with the other. Defense would be nearly impenetrable. 2 arms up, 2 arms down, total coverage. Baseball? Batters could swing with 2 arms and adjust their stance with the other 2. Catchers could throw out runners in record time. Gymnastics and rock climbing would reach new heights, literally. 4 arms mean more points of contact, more stability, and moves we can't even imagine. New sports would emerge designed for multi-limbed athletes. Think tennis with 2 rackets or martial arts with 4-arm strikes. The Olympics would need a whole new set of events. Athleticism would be redefined, not just strength and speed, but insane coordination and multitasking. Goalkeepers in soccer or hockey would be like brick walls, blocking high and low shots at the same time. The balance of offense and defense would shift dramatically. Only the most coordinated, quick-thinking athletes would thrive. Evolution would favor brains that can control 4 limbs independently. Sports strategy, training, and even the design of equipment would be revolutionized. The skill ceiling would skyrocket. Every game would be faster, more complex, and more spectacular. 4-armed athletes would become legends. The very idea of human limits would be rewritten. Welcome to the era of the super athlete. 4 arms would revolutionize work and productivity. On an assembly line, 1 pair could hold parts steady while the other assembles. Speed and precision would soar. Surgeons could operate, hold a camera, and manage tools. Complex procedures, solo. Chefs could chop, stir, and plate all at once. Construction workers could hammer, hold, and level simultaneously. Helping hand would be obsolete, but our brains aren't wired for 4 independent limbs. New forms of fatigue and injury could emerge. Keyboards, drills, even steering wheels would need a total overhaul. Productivity would skyrocket, but so would the risk of burnout. The future of work would be unrecognizable. Welcome to the age of the ultimate multitasker. Music would enter a new dimension. Drummers with 4 arms could play rhythms impossible for today's musicians. Snare, hi-hat, ride, and toms all at once. Drum solos would be legendary with layers of sound that seem superhuman. We'd need new musical notation just to keep up. Texture and nuance would explode. Different sticks or mallets in each hand, creating endless combinations. Pianists could play complex chords and melodies simultaneously, covering more keys than ever before. Composers would write for 20 fingers, pushing music into uncharted territory. Guitarists could fret and strum with multiple hands, inventing new techniques and sounds. Orchestras would be transformed. Violinists playing 2 instruments, conductors giving cues to every section at once. New genres would emerge, blending rhythm, harmony, and melody in ways we can't imagine. Music would become denser, richer, and more intricate. The line between soloist and ensemble would blur. Audiences would need to learn new ways to listen. The structure of songs would evolve, breaking old boundaries. 4-armed musicians would redefine what's possible. It would be a golden age of musical innovation. The soundscape of humanity would never be the same. Technology would need a total overhaul. The standard keyboard? Useless. 20 fingers would demand new input devices, maybe 2 keyboards or gesture-based controls. Imagine typing an email with one pair of hands while coding with the other. User interfaces would split into multiple zones, each controlled by a different hand. Virtual and augmented reality would become hyper-immersive, with 4 hands manipulating digital objects at once. Gaming would reach new heights. 1 hand for movement, another for aiming, a third for inventory, a fourth for strategy. Controllers would look like sci-fi gadgets packed with buttons and joysticks. Smartphones might unfold into multi-screen devices, or wearable tech could project interfaces onto any surface. But could our brains handle this much input? Information overload would be a real risk. New psychological challenges would emerge, cognitive burnout from constant multitasking. Technology would need to adapt, becoming more intuitive and supportive. The line between human and machine would blur even further. We'd co-evolve with our tech, pushing the limits of what's possible. The future would be both exhilarating and overwhelming. 4 arms wouldn't just change our lives, it would rewrite the human story. We'd be stronger, faster, and more creative, but face new challenges in every part of life. Our art, technology, and society would be transformed, but so would our daily struggles. Every advantage comes with a trade-off, and building a world for 4 armed humans would be the ultimate engineering challenge. So if you woke up tomorrow with 2 extra arms, what's the first thing you'd do? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this thought experiment, hit like and subscribe for more mind-bending questions. Thanks for watching.